Ganyu, Ganyu, Ganyu. Commonly referred to as the Queen of DPS. The best DPS character in the game, the 5-star Cryo Mami. Many people claim that Ganyu is the best DPS character in the game. The number one. After all, Ganyu can achieve 75% crit rate without a single artifact substat, allowing you to put all that extra substat space into crit damage. It's within reason for a Ganyu to have 30% crit rate, 300% crit damage, which is just phenomenal, allowing her to deal 30k plus AoE nuked charge attacks from infinite range. And it doesn't end there. She also gains 20% cryo damage bonus and 38% crit damage from Ascension, and can't be debuffed in any way from slowing water or engulfing storm. It's almost as if Mihoyo made her completely future-proof. And any character in a gacha game, in a genre designed on predatory character marketing, that is future-proof is a perfect character for us, and a terrible character for their future sales, which we don't care about. Unfortunately, however, the situation has changed. Ganyu is no longer the best DPS character in the game, nor a perfect character. Top 10? Absolutely. Top 5? Of course! Top 3? You can convince me. Top 1? You've lost your mind. Welcome to the Chopping Block, a series where I make a nuanced argument about why a strong character might not be as strong as you think. Ganyu Edition. The era of characters who only deal a lot of damage is over. That time has passed. It's long gone. It's time to move on. Now, characters need to deal either all of their damage within 10 seconds or be immortal and immovable while dealing their damage in 10 seconds. For example, Ayaka ult is 5 seconds, Ball ult is 7, Kokomi 10, Ito 11, etc. Ganyu is unable to deal all of her damage in a short amount of time. It takes her 2 seconds per charge attack, and she has no burst DPS option like the most recent characters do. In order for Ganyu to deal the same amount of damage Ayaka does in 5 seconds, Ganyu has to stay on the field and keep shooting. No pausing, no dodging. God forbid you miss a shot, you don't crit, or you're a mobile player. My condolences to you. If any of these scenarios are true for you, Ganyu probably doesn't feel as OP as everybody claims she is. My critique about Ganyu is not about how much damage she does. New characters do not deal more damage than Ganyu. I repeat, new characters do not deal more damage. I said it 2 times for the hard-headed ones. But they do deal all of their damage very quickly and can spend the rest of the time rebuilding energy or dodging. Ganyu does not have that privilege. She has to keep shooting. Have you ever attempted aiming at specters or highly mobile enemies like Rifthounds who can teleport and are massive yet ironically get knocked around and staggered more easily than Sissenflies, whom, as far as I'm concerned, have balls of steel weighing them down? It's comically impossible to hit them. Ever since the release of Magu Kenki and Inazuma Morgana, Ganyu's signature team comp has been decreasing in popularity. This could be because Venti continues getting nerfed from heavy enemies, or Mihoyo making more enemies that can't be frozen, or players opting for characters who deal damage faster than Ganyu, like Ayaka. Despite these issues with Ganyu, many players seem to think she is still the best because of Melt Ganyu, the main talking point of this video. A team comp commonly containing Bennett, Xiangling, and Zhongli. Xiangling provides AoE pyro application at a rate no other pyro character can, allowing Ganyu to melt every single one of her charge attacks, dealing insane amounts of damage. Bennett provides a universal attack buff, is incredibly cheap to build, and provides an ample amount of pyro energy for Xiangling that she desperately needs. Zhongli provides an obsidian wall between you and the opponent, making your on-field character, Ganyu, immortal and immovable. All of these characters are clearly top-tier supports, making this clearly a top-tier team. However, I have two issues with Melt Ganyu, neither of which has to do with its damage potential. Melt Ganyu is the strongest DPS team comp in the game, probably beating all other team comps in both sustained damage and burst, by far. It doesn't have to worry about energy recharge because Ganyu doesn't need her burst, any skills, or any energy, or anything at all to deal massive damage. Just give her a wooden bow for goodness sake, some sticks for arrows, and she's ready to rumble. Additionally, because of Bennett, Xiangling's energy issue is completely solved. Let me be clear. Melt Ganyu is monstrously strong. Yet my first issue with Melt Ganyu is claiming Ganyu is the best DPS in the game because of the team comp. This claim confuses and misunderstands character potential and character individuality. Melt Ganyu is the strongest DPS in the game, and it has nothing to do with Ganyu. Let me explain. Melt Ganyu is not a reflection of Ganyu's strength, but rather Ganyu's privilege to use these specific supports, Bennett and Zhongli. These two 6-star damage boosting universal supports are so strong they can make any DPS character a 6-star version of themselves, elevating any character to a level they couldn't reach by any other means. This means if I were to take out Ganyu and put any DPS character, that character would suddenly become insane. In fact, it's really Bennett and Zhongli doing all of the heavy lifting. In a sense, I already play a form of Melt Ganyu. It's Melt Yanfei. With some patience and timing, my Yanfei quadruple melts, dealing 450,000 plus damage within 3 seconds. Within those 3 seconds, my Yanfei outdamages every team combination available to me, even Melt Ganyu. It deals so much damage that I have no idea how much damage it does. This team comp one-cycles every boss in the game until their next invulnerability phase. Should I then say Yanfei is the best DPS in the game? If I were to remove Bennett and Zhongli and use any other combination of team comp to maximize Yanfei's damage, such as a Viridescent Support and Thrilling Tales, I still don't match that level of damage. Bennett's attack buff and Zhongli's shred with petrification are pretty much unparalleled. Zhongli's shred itself is much weaker than a Viridescent Support, but the CC helps you hit enemies you might otherwise miss. His shield also prevents your on-field DPS from interruption, so the damage in practice is closer than the damage in theory would have you believe. Yanfei is not the best DPS in the game, but with Bennett and Zhongli and some reaction support in place of Xiangling, who's Ganyu's reaction support, she out DPSs pretty much any other 5-star that I have. Am I then allowed to claim that Yanfei is the best DPS in the game? No, I should not. People ask for my Yanfei build when they should be asking for my Bennett and Zhongli build. The team is DPS, reaction support, Bennett, Zhongli. It has nothing to do with Yanfei, and it has nothing to do with Ganyu. The power of Melt Ganyu does not come from her. It comes from the best supports in the game, and Ganyu is able to take advantage of them just like any other DPS character can. There are way more enemies now that are highly mobile yet immune to freeze while simultaneously requiring you to deal all of your damage in a matter of seconds. Just because Melt Ganyu does a lot of damage, it is not the answer to my critique that Ganyu is no longer the best DPS character. I'll tell you what is an answer though, Shen-He. I should note that I might not be explaining this as best as possible, but I do feel validated in my belief that Ganyu is missing something, since Shen-He is rumored to be a 5-star cryo support. Why? If Ganyu's the best, she doesn't need a cryo-specific niche support. Otherwise, she'd be miles ahead of everyone else. Mihoyo knows, after all these months, Ganyu needs some help. Ayaka doesn't need much support, but Ganyu definitely does. She's already been replaced in Morgana with Ayaka, and Ganyu doesn't even have a reserved spot in Melt Ganyu. Which leads me to my second issue with Melt Ganyu, a short one. If Ganyu is the best DPS character in the game, why does she need the best supports in the game? Kokomi, on the other hand, with Budget Kazuha, Budget Ball, and Xiangling, is tearing up the abyss right now on Tsukokomon. I think it's Sucrose, Kokomi, and Pokemon. I don't really know what's going on here, but apparently it's really strong. But that's kind of the point. Ganyu needs the best supports to 36-star the abyss, and other teams are getting by with budget 5-stars. Don't misunderstand, Melt Ganyu is significantly stronger than Tsukokomon and probably needs less investment than the latter, but it also requires the best supports to keep Ganyu relevant. If you're a mobile player in Inazuma and are very bad at aiming, you already knew all of this. You were ahead of your time, possessing knowledge the rest of us didn't know. Ganyu might not be the number 1 DPS character in the game, but she is the number 1 DPS character in my heart.